Today, I want to talk about the development of Christian attitudes towards the Scriptures. Indeed, the development of the Bible. And I want you to take away two themes from this lecture. One is that for the Orthodox Church, for the early church, the apostles are the touchstone of scriptural authority. To state it differently, the early church believes that those texts which are apostolic, which derive from the apostles, have authority. And they have authority because they are apostolic. Two is that you can think of the historic development of the Bible in the early centuries of the church in terms of broadly two phases: the development of Scripture and the development of canon. And I've put on the back of your handout, just so you can have some sense, there are widely differing views in contemporary branches of Christianity over exactly the place of Scripture and its authority. Protestants tend to emphasize the exclusive or overriding or preeminent authority of Scripture. Catholic, Roman Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, and more progressive branches Christianity tend to emphasize Scripture and the church itself. There are different views, and this continues to separate different branches of Christianity. The different branches of Christianity continue to disagree over the exact nature of scriptural authority, but we want to consider this question historically and look at some milestones along the way towards the development of a Christian attitude towards Scripture and towards canon. Let's define these. Scripture simply means authoritative writing. Scripture means authoritative writing. Canon means, and it's C-A-N-O-N, C-A-N-O-N. If I get 3 N's in a canon, you're in trouble. Okay, 2 N's, C-A-N-O-N. Canon means list of scriptures. So, by transitive property, that means that a canon is a list of authoritative writings. Scripture is simply the writings that have authority. Canon comes from a Greek word meaning measuring stick, rule, standard, like a yardstick, something you use to measure something else against. And so you get this idea of it's a list of authoritative writings. It's like the yardstick. You compare things to it to see how they measure. That's where the word canon comes from. And in fact, the first use of the word canon, this is quite significant, by a Christian author to refer to the list of Scripture, of authoritative holy books, is by a man named Athanasius, A-T-H-A-N-A-S-I-U-S, in the year 367.